Hello and top of the day to you. I'm Sonia Anderson, your host of All Things Football from a Lady's Perspective. Thanks so much for tuning in once again. Today is September 27th, 2018, and today is the beginning of week number 4 in the league. This is going to be a nice little condensed version because at some point I will be doing an extended version, but let me go ahead and start the show off with our NFL standings as of now. Now the NFC North is definitely won by the Bears. They are atop that division right now. The NFC South has a three-way tie with the Panthers, Saints, and the Tampa Bay Bucks, all having dropped one game. And the Falcons are at the bottom, having lost 2 games. Now the NFC East is tied up between the Eagles and the Redskins. They got Adrian Peterson, AP, up there balling out. And the NFC West is claimed only by the Rams, who are undefeated. They are only one of 2 teams that are undefeated. I'll be talking about that second team, which is one of our AFC teams, in just a moment. Now, the AFC North is claimed by the Ravens and the Bengals, despite them falling to the Panthers 31-21 on Sunday. And the AFC South has the Jags and the Titans tied up for that division right now. And the AFC East has the Dolphins, who are our other undefeated team at 3-0, and the AFC West is currently being ridden by the Chiefs. Now, winless teams going into week number 4 are the Cardinals, Raiders, and the Texans. So hopefully you guys will all get your first win this weekend. Now, we're going to talk about my Panthers in just a moment, but right now, I'm going to go ahead and give you some stats. Rushing stats this week: Ezekiel Elliott tops the list, coming in at number 1 with most rushes, followed by San Francisco's Breida. Christian McCaffrey comes in number 3. Todd Gurley comes in number 4 from the Rams. And I told you about Adrian Peterson up there in Washington, still balling out, still proving he is the beast that he is. And then those career rushing touchdowns by a quarterback record was set by none other than Cameron Jarrell Newton, quarterback of the Carolina Panthers. Now, let me go ahead and let y'all know he has now become the league for the NFL, making history as the most touchdowns rushing by any quarterback at 57. So congrats to Cam. Now, let me go ahead and insert this little side note, because a lot of y'all tag me, comment, inbox me on Cam's dress or how he speaks or just his behavior off the field. Let me just go ahead and make it simple for you. I don't care. He's a great quarterback. He's an elite quarterback. He's top at his game. I don't care if he throws a tantrum on the field. That's his passion, and it makes him win games. So say what you must, but Cam is the man. Now, Drew Brees was also setting some records while we're talking about NFC South elite quarterbacks. He just passed Brett Favre's record for career completions, and he now has 6,301. Favre set the record for 6,300 and has now been broken. So congrats to Mr. Brees of the New Orleans Saints, another quarterback making history. Now, another person making history was Adam Vinatieri of the Indianapolis Colts. He just surpassed Mr. Anderson's records for most kicks at his age. Now, don't be surprised if he ends up retiring this year, because all he wanted to do was what? Pass that record. And it's all about breaking records and getting your name in the book so that people know you are the person that they should set up high and reach to supersede. Now, let me talk about a couple little injuries real quick. This was an injury-prone week, even though we're early in the season. San Francisco has lost their quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, to either a season-ending injury or he's going to be out for quite some time with a ACL or knee as well. Richard Sherman has been injured, and he will not be back most of the year. A big return was for Carson Wentz of the Philadelphia Eagles. He's back, looking good, throwing bomb squads. Carolina Panthers' Greg Olsen is in rehab and taking it one day at a time, but looking good and hoping to return to the field soon. You guys know there's a few of the players that are coming off suspensions. Mark Ingram, Jameis Winston returned to Tampa Bay on Tuesday following Monday night's loss by Ryan Fitzpatrick to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, let me tell you, Bleacher Report was talking about Twitter going from magic to tragic, and I did tell you guys I thought Ryan Fitzpatrick was the one to take Tampa Bay all the way. I don't think that anymore. One key play was when, after the kickoff, as soon as his first pass was initiated, it was an interception, and they were already in scoring range. Pittsburgh picked up and capitalized. Now, speaking of Pittsburgh, Le'Veon Bell is still not reporting and has been noted to say he will return week 11, but according to the Steelers sources, he may not be allowed to do so. They are actually in the process of possibly talking trades with him, and the rumors are maybe Jets, I'll follow up on that. But Le'Veon and the Steelers, definitely not on good terms. Mike Tomlin wouldn't even address it. He stated that when week 1 came around, Le'Veon didn't show. It was a mood issue for him, as the train must continue, the show must go on, was what he was quoted as saying. So, AB, you're definitely the star of the Steelers, you Roethlisberger, because it looks like Mr. Bell won't be returning. Now, speaking of other unsigned persons, Dez Bryant still not picked up. These guys who get themselves blackballed out of the agencies, out of the leagues, need to be really careful because it could be career ending. Speaking of, Colin Kaepernick in his collusion case is ongoing. You know, he got the Nike ad going for himself. According to sources, the Patriots and Raiders are actually interested in him. So we will definitely be following up to see who gets him and what's going to go on. It'd be great to see him back out on the field if he's able to do so and remain healthy. So that's definitely something to keep eyes out for. Now, suspended players for the violations of PED substances, which I told you guys before, is bullcrap, especially on Thomas Davis. He's a very family-oriented, just God-fearing man, and I'm not saying that just because he's a Panther. I'm saying that because I've watched him in interactions, you know, in general, and he's just a really, really good person. But he's going to be coming back after this week. It's going to be the last week of his suspension. Mark Ingram and, like I said, Jameis Winston came back on Tuesday from his sexual allegations with the Uber driver back in 2016. We're going to see if Jameis is going to be the starting quarterback, or will it still be Ryan on Sunday? We're not sure. Now, the Panthers are on a bye this upcoming week, so I'm not for sure if that week is going to count towards their suspension time or not. But Mark Ingram will be coming back to help out Alvin Kamara and the Saints. And let me tell you, it was a battle of the NFC South in Atlanta as the Saints and Falcons went at it toe-to-toe in overtime. Good efforts by Matt Ryan, good effort by Drew Brees, and just, they really went out their way. Now, I will let you know, Calvin Ridley balled out. That rookie hit 3 touchdowns, had a lot of yards, and he literally mirrored Julio Jones. So my thing is, Julio, please don't be in the offseason complaining about not getting money, because clearly the Falcons have found your replacement. Now, I know you're hovering him and mentoring him, but you have to always be careful on any job for those people that you train, because if you train them too good, they could take your place. Now, let me go ahead and talk about this Aaron Rodgers hit rule. It's kind of like a quote-unquote. It's basically a hit on the quarterback. Now, the league is cracking down, apparently, on those people who are doing that. However, I don't feel like they did that in Cam Newton's case, and neither does his father, as he spoke out and stated that other elite quarterbacks get those calls more often, and his son does not. Now, we know this is going on and on and on since the Super Bowl year, that Cam has been hit in the head, and they're saying he's out of the pocket, so he's a runner, so he's eligible to be hit. All BS according to the league. People will be receiving fines. Now, I will let you know, they did pass the rule that you cannot sack a quarterback and put your body weight on them. That will result in a foul. So the Green Bay Packers, of course, initiated that. They didn't expect it to backfire on them in their game when it was against their opponent. So Mike McCartney was very irate about that. It's always some animation going on behind the league, but nonetheless, always excitement. Now, let me tell you about this one story. I try to wrap up with a really feel-good story here. Carolina Panthers, so happens to be this week. The defensive player of the week for the NFC was Efe Obada, or Obade. Now, he's the league's first NFL International Pathway Program player. Now, he got his first sack, his first interception, and his game ball on his defeat against the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday in Charlotte. Now, what's so special about him, you need to Google him. He comes from a unique case where he was a survivor of human trafficking. His name is F-A-E-F-E, last name is Obada, O-B-A-D-A. Google that young man. Promising future for him. Congratulations to him. Now, Carolina now has their 6th NFC Defensive Player of the Week since 2013, breaking a league record, because no team has had that many players within that time span as NFC defensive players. So congrats to the Panthers, congrats to Obada, congrats to Don Teppers, Ron Rivera, and the whole squad there. Thank you so much for tuning into this nice little edition of All Things Football. Please follow me, Sonia Anderson, S-O-N-J-A, Anderson. You can just Google me, and all my links to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook are all on there. And if you're a Carolina Panther fan, Please follow me on the Carolina Pantherettes like page. And if you are a female and you like the Panthers, please find my group. You can go to www.thecarolinapantherets.com. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Until next time.